Their cows look funny in Ireland. Have you noticed that? Okay, so what happened today? Val Brooks is here. Hey Val, how are you doing? Wait, I'm in the wrong screen. She still makes me nervous. Such a goofball. Does that work? Look, we're small now, honey.
Oh, I'll look much better small.
Okay. So the Titanic was found by, I think, James Cameron. And anyway, I didn't know that you can tour the Titanic now. I thought that was a gig in Branson, Missouri and Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But evidently you can take a submersible.
I'm thinking it's going to cost a lot of money.
A submarine. And yeah, because it's like ridiculous. So anyway, this popped up that a tour group now is missing. And so looking for the news before this started, I saw this one, and this is the one I was like, oh, well, let's talk about this because it has a Coast Guard that details the uncomfortable, dark scenario Titanic tourist sub crew likely experience. Boy, that's a big headline.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this sub, I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I saw it this morning. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it. And then when it popped up on the Amazon talkie thing, I was like, oh, well, maybe I should take this more serious. The commercial submersible. Wait a second, does that rhyme? Commercial submersible? That went that went missing, carrying 5 passengers while touring. I mean, that does have to cost a lot. Only 5 people. While touring the Titanic shipwreck presents a challenging and dire situation for rescuers, a former Coast Guardsman told Fox News. Now, Coast Guard, I would like to know some of his credentials there because Coast Guard, I don't think they have submarines. From what I understand, the vessels are not designed for long-range, multi-day excursions, said John Mixon, a retired U.S. Coast Guard lieutenant commander who was involved in long-range search and rescue missions. Hey, wait a second. I know a Navy commander that I could probably ask some of these questions. So it's going to be a very, very uncomfortable, dark experience with a lot of hope and prayers. You imagine the type of darkness it is on the bottom of the ocean?
No.
And then all of a sudden you see one of those glowy fish come and go, ah!
No.
I would say it is extremely serious. It's a dire situation, he continued. But on the other side of the fact, it is still considered classified, hey, you look at the chat, as a search and rescue mission, which would give everyone hope, including the family members and friends of the people on board the vessel. Coast Guard crews from Boston are leading a search and rescue mission for a missing submersible. Oh, did the Titanic shipwreck. The vehicle went reported overdue on Sunday evening, and authorities have yet to discover the location of the vessel. The Coast Guard confirmed to Fox News that they were searching for the lost Titan submersible. Tourists can charter the small craft for visits to the infamous ship through Ocean Gate Expeditions. We need to look them up. Which recently announced new mission crews for a North Atlantic trip on social media. Oh my gosh, what's that show you watch? The boat show?
Oh, Below Deck?
Yes, that's seems like something. It's like, could you imagine? I mean, how did they get the Below Deck crew? They probably put on Facebook. And that's how they're getting Submarine crew.
So Rabbit said, no, it was Two Hellenbach said there's a YouTube about the sub missing. 4 days worth of air is what she heard.
Well, thank goodness they got 4 days worth of air. I wouldn't think they'd have that many.
No, me either.
Oh, look, Rabbit also said my neighbor's son-in-law is a farrier.
Farrier?
I don't know how to pronounce that word. And does hooves. That's crazy. And then Squaw Bob says seahorses.
We love seahorses.
Yeah, actually, seahorses are really cool. They mate for life.
They put their little tails together so they'll float away from one another
when they sleep. Yeah, and the male carries all the hard baggage. It's hard to. Did you give me a look? I feel like you did. It's hard to say whenever you just lose total communication in a situation like that what actually happened until you find the vessel. This isn't a common occurrence at all. Obviously, something very rapid and very tragic took place, he said. I bet you the megalodon ate it. Jason Statham was in that movie, and there's a sequel coming out.
Did you know there is Aliens 9 that's in production?
Yeah, it's in Las Vegas. Or it's in New York. Oh my gosh, man, like New York's crazy. Mixon also says submerged rescue can be a very challenging ordeal, and that though the Coast Guard has diving capabilities, the Navy is definitely very capable of recovering something like this. Yeah, the Navy recovered. Gosh, I need to look that up. It's like in the '60s, I think, a lost Soviet nuclear submarine, and
They kept the submarine, right?
yeah, like us Americans went.
Finders keepers.
Well, you know what? It was they worked with Howard Hughes, and the ship was supposed to be a Howard Hughes thing. He was going to do like deep sea exploration or whatever, because Howard Hughes was that cool. And no, they're going to go get the Soviet sub, and they pulled it up, and they gave all the crewmen a traditional Russian naval burial at sea.
So Caitlin says, how is there not a GPS locator on that thing?
Satellites do not penetrate that deep in the water. Like I heard some. Oh, hang on. Here we go. The location of the search is approximately 900 miles east of Cape Cod, in a water depth of roughly 13,000 feet. That is taller than Mount Rainier, if I'm not mistaken. The biggest mountain in Washington State.
Mhm.
It is bigger than Mount Hood, which is the biggest one in Oregon. You guys don't even know.
You have to do that flare with it. It's bigger than.
Well, you know what? People don't like seeing stoic expert. They like seeing flair. You know that, babe. I mean, hey, when you met me, was I flash and flare? I was flashing the pan. The submersible is advertised to have enough life support to keep 5 people alive for 96 hours. There we go, according to the Ocean Gate website. You know what? Hang on, this is what we're gonna do. We hit command, and we click that little thing, and later on I can look at that. There was 1 submersible commander and 4 mission specialists on board the Titan, according to the Coast Guard. At this point, the presumption is a search and rescue mission, which would indicate that everyone who's in the process of still anticipating a favorable outcome, Exxon said, which means you're looking for survivors. You're still within 36 hours. I would definitely say there's still hope. You know what I think? I think the Megalodon.
So there's someone driving it. There's 4 people that work for him, and then there's 5 paying customers.
I don't think so. I think
so 9 people total.
I don't think paying customers are on there yet.
Oh.
I think it was the social media people that were like going down there and like teaching them. Maybe. I don't know. The chat would know more than I do because they're smart. Yep, still hasn't moved over here in StreamYards. Whoops, they didn't do it. So anyway, what do you think about that? Would you go to see the Titanic?
Before this story, I would say yes. If somebody's paying my fee, I'm going to get in the little submarine because I'm going to say it's safe. And if something happens, they're going to send someone down to rescue me. After this story, no way. Nope.
I have known 2 submariners in my life. And to say that I would not get on a submarine if I thought that they were in charge.
I mean,